this show going, man.
Hurry up, hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up!
Hurry up!
Come on now. We're gonna have action soon. Right here. It ain't going nowhere.
Boy, yeah, you got some technique, boy. You ain't show me that this summer.
Hey, why on tack?
Ball at the 5, third down and 2.
That was bad.
Let's go have some fun, bro. We ain't got to talk about too much.
He wasn't playing the ball.
It's holding.
Cliff, the Cliff. How is that not called?
That ain't gonna call a damn thing.
What is the delay for? He's standing right there.
He's taking a card out. He's a piece of paper.
It's that close? Dear Lord.
Hello and welcome with you Aussie guys. I'm AJ, here with me is G. How are you, G?
Mate, it's good to see you down here. We haven't been down here for quite some time.
No.
And we have some guests today, and they've been good enough to have me on.
Yes.
Unlike your good self.
Like my good
everybody
self.
And you've had how long have you had off?
Well, I've been back at work for 2 weeks now.
Okay, yep.
Yep. So there you go. We won't talk about how long I had off.
School teachers.
No.
Oh, mate. What a life. What a life. And how long you got, what, 8 weeks of school, like 50 days, and then you have another 2 weeks off?
Oh, yeah, it'd be well deserved. 8
Well
weeks
earned.
of work.
Well earned.
Well earned.
Okay.
Now, we do have some guests on the line, and then we can chat. We can rope them into the conversation, and you can all bag me then. So let me let me rope them in. But in no particular order, we have the guys from the Dynasty Warzone. We've got Randers and Jerry. Welcome, guys.
Hey, good to be back.
Yeah, buddy. Love it.
I heard like a can of Monster or something equivalent, and obviously Jerry, a couple of cups of coffee in. So appreciate you guys getting up nice and early for us.
Of course.
I had to venture the cold to double fist this mocha latte.
To what now?
You have to,
normally
go
it would just be
outside.
a black. Normally it would just be black coffee with sugar. This was a special occasion though to talk with you guys. Had to go with the mocha latte.
Mocha latte.
And you had
I'm
to go.
a millennial. If that's a surprise to anybody.
He's going to wash that down with an IPA beer is what he's going to do. Damn millennial.
Threaten me with a good time.
If you say anything about smashed avocado on toast, then we're
It's over. It's
the
finished.
call is over.
I think my dad would disown me. I can't do that.
And we've also got the fellas, Kyle and Seth. Congratulations on your, I was going to say, wrapping up your season, with your sort of season wrap show. I listened to that on the way to work this morning. It was brilliant. So, Kyle and Seth, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having us again, guys.
Yeah, thanks again. Good to be here. And yeah, wrapped up season 3 of the show and gave you guys a shout out because you guys were all guests this year. So it was awesome to have you and good to talk to you as always.
No,
Oh, mate, I'll come on anytime. AJ, I can't speak for, and he doesn't come on as much because he just goes, "You go."
Shit.
I'm not going on. You go. So I'm going anyway, mate. That's how I roll. AJ, not so much. If there's $1 in it, you'd be in there.
Yeah. Oh, come on, turn it up. Yeah, so wrapped up season 3. I can't wait for season 4. I must confess the Red Wedding was a little bit of a shock, a surprise in that the previous episode. So can't wait to see what happens at the start of season 4. Winter is well and truly arrived. Not even coming anymore.
Yeah, it's been here for the last 3 days in Chicago.
Everything's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Mate, we've even heard every day about how bad the weather is over there, this winter vortex you've got going on.
It was negative 22 when I woke up on Wednesday morning.
Well,
And that's probably not counting the wind chill either.
Yeah, and I don't know what
Right.
that is to the rest of the world, but
Sorry,
that's
yes.
like in American.
That's Fahrenheit.
is there another world outside of America?
And not for Americans.
Yeah, you guys are the only connection we have, really.
oh, man.
Our embassy to the rest of
Trying
the
to
world.
make on a French podcast for years.
We're almost like a lifeline for you, aren't we, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, we would be uncultured swine.
True, but like we've heard stuff. I'm just talking to Randers off air and Jerry just about you have to like we heard you have to wear like scarves, woolen scarves to keep your breath warm because they're saying don't go outside in some areas for like any more than 5 minutes and just stuff like that. Just for us, that's just seriously bizarre. We like the only place you get snow is if you drive like 4 hours to what we call a mountain, but it's more like a hill.
And go right to the top of it.
And you have to go right to the top of it.
And then jump as high as you can.
And to get any snow. So for us to live, we just can't imagine what that's like at all.
No.
Yeah, that's rough.
I just Googled it for you, so it's actually negative 30 Celsius. What Seth was talking about.
How do your houses keep warm? Like, do you actually, like, I know you got the heater going probably cranked up, but do you feel negative 30?
When you go outside, but
You still do.
And here's the thing: in Michigan, where I'm from, we actually had one of our consumer energy plants set on fire. So the governor sent out an emergency broadcast to everyone's cell phone to turn our heaters down because we were using too much energy. So the 2 coldest days of the year, we couldn't even crank our heaters.
Oof! Wow.
I'll say I had 2 of my assistants who lost electricity for a few hours due to everybody running their heaters at such a high rate. So they were down for a couple hours. I thought I was going to have to house one of my assistants. I was like, dude, if you can't get your heat back on, you can stay with the family and I.
Oh, that's nice of you. AJ wouldn't do this. We have the opposite here. Is that it's been so hot here.
Yeah.
And we had one day of we had one afternoon of reprieve where we had this massive lightning storm and whatnot, and now it's gone straight back. It's going to be like 38 or something tomorrow, which is what, close to about 100?
Oh, it'd be more than 100. More than 100? 38, I think.
So it's back to that, but we have the opposite. We have our air conditioning. Everybody's got the air conditioning going.
Yeah.
And we have blackouts in whole suburbs, don't we? Which is just ridiculous when we think of the population that we have here
compared
and we can't power our population. So we're just the totally opposite to what you guys are going through at the moment. It's quite bizarre.
Yeah. Listen, I'll take 100 degrees over this any day of the week. I promise you that.
It's a little bit ridiculous,
I
though.
was thinking about if I can spend the first 6 months of the year in the States and then spend the next 6 months of the year in Australia, I may have this thing whipped.
I was going to say, gee, we've got it pretty rough, don't we, with our sun-drenched beaches and walking around in shorts and T-shirts.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Trust me, there was some guy in Chicago walking around in a pair of khaki cargo shorts, some flip-flops, and a hoodie.
Oh, that's a bad
one of those IPA beers.
His mom was probably ashamed of him, though.
How's that dude go to New York with a naked guitar dude? That guy plays in Times Square. How's he doing at the moment?
Boy.
He'd be packing a fair few pairs of socks, I reckon, down the front of his jocks. Because, mate, there's some George Costanza shrinkage going on right
there. There's no other way, so I mean, you got to do it.
Oh, man, you got to look after your boys.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
So
they deserve warmth just like everybody else.
No, but there's serious temperature concerns.
There is. But we should probably get on to why we're here.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Let's get back on track.
Yeah, that could be a hole we don't want to go down.
We do have an item on the agenda, but what about if we talk about the impending game? Because
start off with that, okay?
Yeah, we'll start off with that. Because you know what? We do kind of forget about, especially if your team's not in it, you do kind of forget a little bit about the fact that there's football actually still going on. I mean, fantasy's been over for a little bit. But yeah, there's a game still to play, guys. Just wondering what people think prediction-wise. Well, let's get a winner.
So, look, for me, it all ended 2 weeks ago. Like, any interest at all, that was gone. Like, the 2 teams I wanted to play in the Super Bowl, that was it.
Yeah.
So I've really have no... I shouldn't say no interest because I love watching football and everything.
Of course,
but just when it's 2 teams you didn't want to be there, I've sort of... Like, I'm going to sit down and watch the game, but I might get up and, go mow the lawn for a little while.
Well, yeah. So, listen, a quick prediction and an MVP. So, Seth, let's go with you first.
I really hope there is a game because my concern is that it's going to look like the Patriots coming out and whipping on the Chargers again. That's my concern right now because they just looked way too good. So my pick is the Patriots, and I wish it wouldn't be Tom Brady, but it'll be Tom Brady. So, yeah, I know. That's lame.
No.
Boo.
That's why he went with me first, so we can get the lame stuff out of the way. I know you guys love a more creative, fun.
Well, let's hear a creative, fun take from Kyle.
Yeah, man. So the Patriots Super Bowl is always usually pretty close. So I'm going to say this one's going to be close as well. And I think the Rams are going to take it home I think they're going to win 31-28, and the Super Bowl MVP will be Greg Zerling.
Oh, the leg!
Wow,
Yes.
your bold take.
He's going to hit a 57-yarder again to give him the winning kick, and boom goes the dynamite.
Has a kicker ever been MVP of a Super Bowl?
Oh hell no! They're barely people. Remember?
I was going to say, have they ever been anything?
Mate, he could seriously be the highest scorer for the Rams. Mate, you get the ball over the halfway mark, mate. I'm not even going to bother about going downfield. Third down, let's just kick it.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's go to Randers. Randers.
I am going Patriots 34-28. Gronk's going to score 2 touchdowns, be the MVP, and ride off into the sunset as your Super Bowl MVP, and he'll show up at WrestleMania in the spring getting body slammed. There you go. You wanted weird. There you go, weird.
Wow. Okay, Jerry, who have you got?
I will be rooting until my voice gets hoarse for the Los Angeles Rams. But
I thought your girlfriend
they're not
was in
going
for
to
a big
win
night.
I was going to say, but what about the Super Bowl?
No, that's...
Do they call it rooting?
Patriots.
They don't call it rooting, do they? They've probably got no idea
Patriots
what
going
we're
to win it pretty easy. 31-21. Julian Edelman's going to nickel and dime those boys to death. He's going to win MVP. I can't take Tom Brady. We already had a Tom Brady. We're going Julian Edelman.
Nice. Jerry...
It'll break my heart again because I have not been a fan of Tom Brady since the boy was 19 years old. He went to college at a school that I don't like as far as football goes, and he's just been proving me wrong and embarrassing me every step since I was like 7 years old. And he'll do it again at 30.
Yep. Okay, G.
I've got Patriots over the Rams 33-28.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to... Stephen Gilmore is going to be the MVP. He's going to shut down probably Brandon Cooks, get an interception. So that was enough for... I suppose he's not going to do what Malcolm Butler did, but he's going to have a very similar game. Just he's going to have the interception at a different spot. Not as so dramatic.
That's the extreme of dramatic. I'm going to be super boring, and I'll just tie this in a bow. So we started with Seth, and we'll come back to boring with, I agree 100% it'll be Patriots. We were talking, G, before we hit record about how this is the worst of the combinations, for sure, for me as well. Would have loved to have seen the Chiefs there. How good would that have been? But look, Paddy's young. He's going to have lots of opportunity get back there. And unfortunately, I think it's just going to be a Tom Brady show. And I think Jared Goff's going to, unfortunately, crumble. I think the nerves will get to him. He's a young guy. Brady's been there so many times. So many times. Nine.
Just him and Belichick together. He's 9 times. I think it's right, isn't it, guys? 9 times, and that's more than any team has actually been to the Super Bowl. And they've done it.
And they're not
together
9 times. Every time I root for him because they're playing an NFC East team, he loses. And every time I'm rooting against him, just like Jerry, he wins. So, I mean, screw that guy.
Yeah. I feel like Uncle Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are just going to big brother McVay and Goff. You know, put him in a headlock, give him a noogie. Come here, little fella. Let me.
I think the Rams got a shot, guy. I mean, I get it that like Patriots have been there, but I mean,
I'm not saying
New Orleans.
They don't have
one way or another. They beat New Orleans in New Orleans. Now they're going neutral site.
But I'm going to take Uncle Bill against a young quarterback.
Yeah,
he seems to he's done it to Mahomes twice, which nothing against Mahomes, but he had a great season. But Uncle Bill's still Uncle Bill. He'll rope you in there with the old rope-a-dope. He'll think he got one thing and he'll take the other thing away. It's just what he does. I think the real question for me is Todd Gurley healthy?
I was going to say, he hadn't seen C.J. Anderson, baby. You know what's up. That's not what I'm talking about.
I do. I said the other day, he looks like he's a biscuit shy of 300, but he's out there rumbling. He reminds me of like a fatter version of Marshawn Lynch the way he's running right now. So I don't know. It looks like a wrecking ball with feet.
Yeah,
that's a compliment. Fatter version of Marshawn Lynch.
Hey, just before
he's
we
all
start,
about those biscuits, boss.
That's right.
All about that.
Hey, just before we start this free agency draft that we're going to be doing tonight, Randers, just if you owned, me and AJ were just talking about this off air, if you owned Todd Gurley, I believe, mate, I'd be trying to trade him in. If I could trade him straight up for someone like Barkley, I'd be doing it because I don't trust that knee. He had swelling in the knee. He's had it twice now, and not from playing football.
Here's my thing. I love Todd Gurley, and he's amazingly talented and a great fantasy and dynasty asset. But he's going into his 5th season. He's had 300-plus touches. I believe it's at least 3 straight years, if not 4. And he's had multiple knee issues, including a major ACL going back to college.
Yep.
At this point, he's peaked. Just think of him not as a person, but as an asset. He's reached the maximum level of efficiency, and there's nowhere to go but down at this point, especially when you factor in the injuries. Now, he's only 25, but if you want to cash out, to G's point, now is the time. And I'm not saying have a fire sale where you go out and just give this dude away, but there's plenty of people who love Todd Gurley. And to your point, if I could trade up a little bit, if I could throw a little something on top of Gurley and get Barkley, I'm in. If I could use the perception of his ADP, which is in a startup, the 102 behind Barkley, and if I could maybe get Zeke or Christian McCaffrey plus a little something for Gurley, I'm totally in there too. Even Kamara. I love Todd Gurley, but if I can get comparable production and get out of the Todd Gurley business, I'm in.
With you there. All right, so the style of this thing is a free agent auction, and I said to G that before I actually put this out, what we should do is actually tweet the list of the players so the 5 people that listen to us can play at home.
Oh, well, my mum's gone to bed already, man.
Oh, man, they're 4.
And we're the other 4.
I've got a list this year. This is a very rough list. I thought this was like the sign-in sheet for the local men's homeless shelter.
Well, I was just thinking we haven't been on for a couple of weeks, and it's sort of like where are we? You go and do mock drafts until they're coming out your wazoo. You know, like who's going to be where next year and whatnot. But then the free agency list popped up, and I thought, well, there are some half decent guys on here. So I thought, well, let's have a mock draft using these guys.
Yeah. All right. So
some of them will probably stay, and some of them will move on to another club, another team.
Yeah, sure. So anyway, you're listening to this podcast. I have tweeted the lists out on our Twitter feed. Check them out. You can have a look at what we'll be selecting from and play along at home. We're going to be selecting a quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end. And we've got a draft order. And first cab off the rank is Kyle.
Heck yeah. So this was a gift because, just like everybody mentioned, this list is not very good. I stumbled across the Pro Football Focus top 50 free agents. Now, again, that wasn't fantasy related because it included all positions. There were like 3 offensive players in the top 40. It was just like something like that. It was ridiculous. So this is definitely a defensive heavy free agency, but as far as for the news and for the sake of everybody down the line is that there will be cuts and things like that. So it'll mix it up. But based off the list we have today, getting the number 1 pick, I thought it was super simple. I'm going with Le'Veon Bell. The guy had a year off. We all know that at this point, but he's been an absolute beast. His fantasy numbers, I don't think his production will be anywhere close to what he had in Pittsburgh, but he can still be a running back 1, I believe, for at least a few seasons. He's 27 years old, but he had a year off. We've seen what a year off will do for a player in the past. So Le'Veon Bell for me is clear cut, the number 1 fantasy option, the number 1 player out there in free agency on the offensive side of the ball. The landing spot is obviously going to be tough. Like I said, Pittsburgh uses the running back so well that anywhere he goes is going to be, a downtick in value, but he also got to be realistic about who's going to spend up for a running back. Ideal scenarios, like I wish that Le'Veon Bell would bunk up with Memphis out there in Indy and play with Andrew Luck, but are they going to pay up for a running back? I don't think so. So if I'm picking a realistic landing spot for him, I think that it's Oakland. They're known for paying money to players that they shouldn't. I think Oakland could be a place, Bell will see a lot of work regardless of where he goes, but Oakland's a good landing spot. If I had to pick one other landing spot that might be an option, it could be the Eagles, but their cap situation sucks, and they use the multi-back system. So I think it's going to be Oakland Raiders would be my prediction for Le'Veon Bell, but he's no doubt the number 1 pick.
A clear standout on the list, to be honest.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So
I'm going to sign off here, guys. So
yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
So that's
all I need. I have the best team.
That was the cream off the top, and there's nothing.
And the cherry, he took the whole lot.
The whole lot. There's nothing but garbage left now.
He's, just left, he's got the Neapolitan. He's taken the chocolate and left us with the vanilla and the strawberry.
Oh, that's awful.
What a bastard.
That's right.
Damn. I'm not a tyrant.
Seth, who are you going to go with?
Yeah, I thought about going with one of the maybe one and a
Didn't
half.
Memphis pick second?
Is Memphis second?
I thought you told me that.
I might have got that wrong.
Oh, really?
You
I
up?
can swap
You
them.
second Memphis. You're up. That's my bad.
Well, I was rerouting my draft board.
No. Sorry, my bad. I told AJ the wrong one. So there you go.
Take that, Seth. Ha ha.
I'm even sadder now.
I see how it is, G.
I'm even sadder.
He just loves Seth so much. He's just trying to bump him up.
I'm going to hit Noah again just for that. Give him another clip.
Seth, E fella. But I'm going to take this other fella, and he's not a nice guy like Seth. He's a bad guy like me, and that's Kareem Hunt. I don't know where he lands. He's been rumored so far to Tampa Bay. The Jets have basically shot that down. Like, they didn't have any interest, but the Bears, the Eagles. So there's a lot of prime landing spots for him. I think you're going to be dealing with at least a 6-game suspension, maybe even a little bit more. But the good thing is that the NFL has said that they will announce his punishment prior to free agency. So you'll have some idea of what he's going to be up against before you would make this decision. But based on where we're at now, just on talent, I'm taking Kareem Hunt.
Yep, nice. Good pick.
How long do you think how long do you think he's going to be suspended for?
I'm saying 10.
Yeah.
I think 10 also.
Yep.
Yeah.
If not the whole year.
It's got to be more than 6. Like, you can't give Zeke 6 games for something that might have happened and, there was nothing there.
The question is do they use the games that he missed as part of the suspension? Because his legal team's going to try and pull that.
Oh, they will. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You probably get 4 for the push and 6 for the kick.
Could you argue that if you
really, the push, he didn't actually push it, did he? He actually pushed...
No, he did push.
No, but he pushed his mate into her, didn't she? And she went down?
He pushed her.
He actually pushed her?
I think so. Pretty sure he did.
I saw the kick, but...
No, but what I was going to say, he wasn't actually on a roster because the Chiefs cut him immediately. So could the legal team actually make that argument anyway?
I've seen and I wish I had some examples. So I apologize, I don't. But I have, if I remember correctly, in the past, if you're actually suspended, even if you're not on a roster, I think that you accrue that as the season goes. But he wasn't actually suspended officially. He was put on the commissioner exempt list. Which we haven't seen used very often. The crazy nut job that the Cowboys decided to sign? Greg Hardy. Like, they did that with him. So, with Hunt, I don't think that he has much to stand on. I think Jerry's absolutely right. It's not going to be cut and dry. Like, his team of people are going to try to say, well, he already missed 6 games. And then, the league will be, okay, 16 then. And there you still got 10 left. Like, I don't know. It's going to suck having to deal with this news. But, talent-wise, Memphis nailed it. I mean, he's the second best player. Probably first if you're looking like longer than a couple seasons. But
I think he'll wind up in a small market team because like the media in New York or Chicago or LA would just rip that franchise apart. And if I'm him, I want to land in like Tampa Bay, where the local media is as powerful as like the New York media, and that way I can take my initial beating, and so can the team for signing.
Oh, damn.
And then all of a sudden...
The initial kick in the hotel lobby?
Yeah. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon somewhere like the Bears... I know what you're saying about the media, but somewhere like the Bears, especially now that they've had a taste and they were so close and they feel like part of it got ripped away, I think they could accept that have someone like that come into the team, into the franchise.
Seth can talk to it.
Yeah, Chicago can handle it.
The Bears have bought some goodwill. You know what I'm saying? Like
they truly have. Yep. Like, Nagy can do no wrong right now.
Yeah,
he's like our McVay at the moment. So obviously, anything he says, obviously, but yeah, I could see it coming here and people, just being mad about it because people are going to be mad about everything. Not saying that that's what he did was good or anything, but I think if he goes to Chicago, he'll be fine.
Yep, and once he breaks off the first 100-yard game and a couple of TDs,
it's all forgotten.
It's all forgotten.
Yep.
Yep, just like Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, well, precisely. Seth, who have you got?
All right. I thought about going with like the one of maybe 1.5 quarterbacks that are relevant on this list.
Don't you snipe me.
So just because there's nothing else here. So if I'm trying to draft the best team out of all of this, I think I have to. So I'm going to go with Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback as my first pick here, because if you're on Twitter and you're looking at this list, there ain't much there. There's a bunch of people that haven't even played in years. I didn't even know this guy was still in the league. Brandon Whedon. Brandon Whedon is still in the league, people.
He's got an elite arm.
Oh, man. Yep. Well, listen, G, you're up. So,
oof. Okay. Well, that I thought we were going to go like 4 running back, like at least the first 3 would be running backs. And I was looking at Teddy myself, so at least I have someone who can actually throw a ball to any of these guys. So I'm probably going to need a really good running back out of this list that's left, because my quarterbacks can't throw. So they just got to be really good at handing it off. So, I still think Mark Ingram's got a little bit, but at 29 years of age, you're thinking, I don't know, but if you just want a banger, looking down this list, it's a really scary list. But look, I have to go youth. I'm not a massive fan of him. He's a Falcons guy. He's really good. He looked a little bit like he could cut a little bit this year than past years, but open spaces, it's one and gone. So I'm going to take Tevin Coleman. Now, he's only 25 years of age, averaged 4.8 yards a carry this year. Over 1,000 yards all up, 9 touchdowns, and as we said with this list, he's probably the third best guy on here.
Yeah, no, fair call. I am next up. I was tossing up between Coleman and the next guy, the other one you were tossing up with, and it's who I'm going to take. I'm going to take Mark Ingram. And yes, he is 29, but he doesn't actually have that much on the tyres, to be honest.
Mate, 4.7 yards a carry this year.
Yeah, and I mean, he can find a nice landing spot, I think, with a complimentary, another back to support him, and I think he could be quite good. So I will grab Mark Ingram, and that's all the running backs, guys. I'm sorry, there's no more.
Jerry, sorry, mate, you're last. But if you got some words for Noah off air, I'll pass them on to him when he wakes up in the morning.
Well, I'm getting on PlayStation, taking my wrath out on him. You know what? I'm actually going to still go with running back. I'm going to go with TJ Yeldon. He's only 25 years old.
Damn, that's the next one.
He's always sort of been that spell guy, never been the workhorse. So he's, like you said in a much better accent than I can, that he doesn't have that much tread on the tires. So I think I would go Yeldon and just hope he lands in a spot where he can actually get a good workload. That's yet to be seen, but like everyone's been saying about this list, and now we're at the end of the first round of this list. So I got left with a barren wasteland, the outback for you Aussies. So DJ Yeldon.
Now we're snaking this thing, right?
Yeah, we are. And we didn't mention.
So I get 2 headaches.
You do.
So at least I get the best of the poop sandwich for the second round.
Yes.
Amir Abdullah is still on the board.
I saw his name.
I would rather live
my heart lit up
back without a T-shirt.
So just on TJ Yeldon quickly, landing spots. So I had him as a Raider.
I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, I can see that.
The dude's got some skill.
Already.
The dude can catch the ball.
Yeah,
he's got zip. He's carried the load. When Leonard Fournette there, if you go and have a look at his fantasy numbers, he was in 12s, 15. There was a couple of 20s in there. So there's no doubt he can be a 3-down back.
Yeah,
I had him to the Jets as a cheaper option for the Jets with Isaiah the Crow as the 1 and 2 down back, and Yeldon come in for a little bit of rushing and receiving. I think that would be good too.
Yeah, Powell replacement.
Powell.
Yeah, exactly. Pow.
It's early over there.
it is.
All right, Jerry, your second pick, dude. You're up.
All right. There's actually a few running backs that are sort of left on the top of this scrap heap, so I don't think I can go that. I think I can get one of those later. I'm just going to go Golden Tate. He's the top of this wide receiver list. I mean, he's 30, but the dude's still got shake and bake that is just something to just salivate over. He can he can make a quick 2-step and just get someone dancing out on the dance floor and fall on their face. So we'll go Golden Tate. Hopefully he can end up somewhere that's juicy and not one of the Buffaloes of the world or a place like that.
I like it. So back to me.
Back to you.
And I'm gonna kind of follow your lead, Jerry, and go to wide receiver.
Yeah, you're going to take him, are you?
Who?
I know exactly.
You know who I'm going to
I
take?
can punch you from here.
Go and tell me.
You're going to take Tyrell Williams.
Correct. Tyrell Williams.
Damn it.
I mean, he is incredibly underrated. With Mike Williams kind of stepping up in LA.
Mate, I think he's the best receiver on here.
Well,
no, I do.
full stop.
I honestly believe on this list, you guys can... We'll go through the list because we'll be picking guys, but, mate, he can be... He has the size, he has the speed to be a number one wide receiver.
I wouldn't go that far. He'd be a good number 2.
Well, he thinks so. He thinks
Rod
he's a
Streeter,
number one
baby.
wide receiver.
Rod Streeter. Well, look, he's not going to stay. Well, where's he going to go then? Because he's not going to stay in LA because Tom Telesco's already come out and said, look, we probably won't be able to re-sign him.
No, that's right.
So where's he going? I've got to land this spot here because I was going to pick him.
Oh, where did you say?
I reckon Seahawks.
Yeah,
the Seahawks need they can't get a tight end to save their lives. They need a big guy. What is he? 6'3", 6'4"?
Oh yeah. He's
fast.
That's not the best landing spot, is it? Really
I'm not saying it's the best landing spot for him, but guys don't go to the best landing spots for him. They go who's going to pay them the most money.
Yeah, I know, true. Yeah. No, I could actually see that. I could see that, but I wouldn't be wrapped with it.
Because, we know that Russell Wilson can hurl the ball. He gives you plenty of time to get separation.
It's a running offense, though, really.
Well, yes, true.
What about Cleveland for Tyrell? They got 75.
Ooh, I don't mind that. At all.
Get Jarvis on the back inside.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good fit.
Yeah,
I've got a tight end on here going to the Browns.
Have you?
Yes.
Well, listen, let's go back to you, G. In the first round, you picked Kevin Coleman.
Killing me. Jeez, this is tough with this group again. I'm going to go... I need a wide receiver. I need a lot more than just a one wide receiver.
Well, you need 2.
Jamison Crowder, only 25 years of age. If he can stay healthy, we know what he can do. He hasn't been on the best offense, and I really would like to see him go to Green Bay. Take over that Randall Cobb position. He'd slot in there beautifully with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers likes guys that are meant to be where they're meant to be. He's a great route runner. I think he'd be perfect in Green Bay.
Okay, nice. Actually, I like that fit. Seth, you went with the Teddy. You picked the only quarterback, the only guy who may actually start this coming season. But who are you going to go with this time?
Jared Cook. I'm going to take the only tight end that's going to start off this list.
I knew it.
Yep,
I knew it.
Jared Cook has been the number one receiver on the Raiders for 2 years in a row at the tight end position, no less. And I know he's 31, but I mean, Delaney Walker up until last year, I think he's 72. And you could be old and be a tight end in this league if you're on a passing offense like that. So I will take Jared Cook as the only option on here. I didn't even know some of these guys were in. Like Marquise Gray is a guy on this list.
Marquise Gray. Oh,
yeah,
you guys wait.
Exactly. I don't know.
He's going to bust out for the whoever he plays for.
Oh dear.
Whoever he might
so
play.
where do you see him going, Seth? If he goes anywhere,
I think the Raiders will re-sign him.
Okay.
I think the Raiders will re-sign him, and I think that might be the best option for him, to be honest.
Yeah,
in terms of his fantasy value,
I liked him. I had him down here. I reckon maybe the Saints, like the Saints, could do with a tight end. They could do with that middle of the guy sort of player, and getting so close this year.
Yeah.
Breeze is more on the back end and in the middle. It's just someone like that, just that little bit more. And I even had down to the Steelers. The Steelers got to, mate. Brown's gone, Bell's gone, Roethlisberger hasn't got that much time. Mate, you got to put everything you can get into the next couple of years.
True,
because that window's going to be closed.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for Juju.
Randy, first time up, you went Kareem Hunt. So where are you going this time?
I'm going to go the Seth route and go quarterback, and I'm going to go Fitzmagic. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 36. I could see him being the perfect bridge guy. I don't love this rookie quarterback class. Not a big Haskins guy or Locke or any of these guys. So if I was an NFL team knowing that I didn't have the long-term solution at quarterback, I would be waiting for 2020 when the class gets considerably better, and I would just try to bridge a year, and I would try Ryan's Fitzmagic. So that's going to be my quarterback.
And, if I was a little bit better organised, I'd have a nice drop like the FF fellas did for Fitzmagic, but I don't, alas. You just
we need a drop
imagine
board.
it. Yeah, we do. That's a good idea, isn't it?
Out of my winnings from the Too Legit League.
Yeah.
I buy a sound drop.
Oh, yeah, you'd be welcome to do that. Hey, Kyle, you got 2 in a row here at the turns. You picked Lev Bell. Where are you going this time?
Yeah, I'm going to go. There was one other quarterback that I was looking at on this list, and he made it back to me, and I'm going to take him so that I don't have to deal with the rest of these jamokes out here. I mean, this is just ridiculous.
That's the technical term.
Yes, yeah. I'm going to go with Tyrod Taylor. I think that obviously we saw what happened to him when he got Hugh Jackson, but this guy I think is a serviceable starter. Everything Memphis just said. This rookie class, I'm not super pumped about. So I think Tyrod will get his opportunity to be a one-year bridge quarterback. Potentially, probably on a team that's just trying to suck so they can get in position to draft, one of the quarterbacks coming out the following year. But Tyrod's been a fantasy asset. I'm going to take him as my quarterback here. There's not a lot left on that list. So I'm going to go Tyrod with that first pick. And then I'm just going to take my second running back now. I think there's enough at wide receiver, and tight end is just a wasteland because of Seth. So I'm going to go with Jay Ajayi. I know he's got, no knees or whatever, and he drinks pickle juice for a living at this point. But, we've seen flashes enough. He's 25 years old, which, in running back years, he's probably closer to 29. But there's just nobody else really inspiring on this list for me. So I'm just going to lock up my second running back there and go Jay Ajayi.
Does he stay in Philadelphia?
I don't think so. That's the thing that sucks about the NFL. Like, these guys literally get one chance at a payout, especially running backs. So he'll go to the highest bidder. Like, I forget at this point who mentioned it, but they just go where the money is. And running backs definitely should. They're not going to go to best fit. So I think Ajayi just takes – I could see him in, like, Buffalo, which is not great. But, he'll get opportunities there.
Yep, fair enough. Randy, you've got the Fitzmagic, you've got Kareem Hunt. Who are you going to add to that?
I just got sniped, so now I'm trying to make my my next.
These teams
I'm gonna go
bad.
I'm going to go for where. I agree with Kyle. There's still some depth on the wide receiver free agent board, and the tight end room looks like someone rolled a hand grenade in it. So I'll take Spencer there. He's 2 years removed from that pretty bad knee injury. He's only 27. It could be a nice complimentary back somewhere. That RB3 value in fantasy. So give me Mr. Spencer Ware.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, Seth, so you got Teddy, you got Jared Cook. So you took the cream off the quarterback and tight end free agents, but now what are you going to put?
You're licking the bottom of the bowl now.
I put money on this pick. I know what pick this is going to be.
Yeah, you know who it is, Kyle. It's the third best running back on the list here. It is the number 1 running back for the Rams, C.J. Anderson.
Oh, God.
The human cannonball.
Yep. Hey, he replaced Jonathan Stewart for a reason.
I would love to see, like, the last 2 guys just went off, like Ware and Anderson. I think those, they're going to be a little bit under the radar behind some, like the young guys like Coleman and Yeldon, and they're not going to pay out. But whoever the running downs back that's going to be pigeonholed for 12 to 14 carries a game in New Orleans to replace Mark Ingram, there's going to be some serious fantasy value there. And if I could see like one of those guys heading that way, if they don't, spend a draft pick on somebody.
I completely agree.
Yep, and I've got a running back on here that's still on here that I've put down for the Saints.
Oh, is that the one you're going to pick now?
Oh, am I up?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't think my tight end's going to go. So I'm going to take. You're going to take another running back. Look, I looked at Corey Grant because we've never really seen what Corey Grant can do. But he's 27, probably passing him by just with injuries and whatnot. But I'm going to go Mike Davis. I think Mike Davis, 26 years of age, mate. The dude can run. He runs hard. And I really think that if Mark Ingram disappears out from New Orleans, I think this is a guy that runs with the same sort of hammer. I think he runs just as hard, if not a little bit harder than Mark Ingram does. So I'll take Mike Davis here and stick him at New Orleans.
I love that. He's
Nice.
a great pass catcher too. Like Ingram, underrated that aspect of his game.
Yeah, I would have taken Davis with my pick if you didn't. So anyway, that's all good. I will go back to wide receiver in that case, and I'm going to take Dante Moncrief, who I quite like. He is underrated. Let's see where he lands. Let's see what he can do. I mean, obviously he's in a good offense, but yeah, I like Moncrief quite a lot. Jerry, you got two. You got TJ Yeldon, you got Golden Tate. And you go back to back.
Where do we go? I think everyone I wanted to take got taken. Now I'm in a tizzy. All right, here we go. And I think both of these guys could end up for my Lions. We need a tight end. Eric Ebron, not that we throw to the tight end a lot, and they would be super fantasy relevant, but Jesse James is only 24 years old. He's not going to be that expensive.
You suck, Jerry.
Yeah, sorry. I know. Haters going to hate. So I'm going to go with Jesse just because once Seth took Jared Cook, I'm looking at nothing. The other one's tough because I do think the Lions are going to take a wide receiver for cheap, which is really why I wanted Dante Moncrief, and AJ had to break my heart. See, John Brown's like Marvin Jones, so I don't want to do that. We're going Philip Dorsett. Philip Dorsett's 26. He's the same sort of thing as Jesse James. Not going to be super expensive. The Lions could really use another wide receiver. Who knows how long Marvin Jones is going to be here, too. Or if the Lions are going to even try and win, or they're going to just keep trying to lose and rebuild. So I'm going to go Philip Dorsett, and let's just hope he can show us something. He every once in a while you get a little hype out of him, and then he disappears to the end of time. So hopefully he can be rejuvenated.
Very nice. Okay.
You're up, AJ.
I'm up, yes. So I've got Mark Ingram, Tyrell Williams, and Dante Moncrief, and I'm going to go back to running back, and I'm going to take a bit of a shot at a guy, again, underrated. He hasn't had much opportunity. Jerry, you might be a little bit of a closet fan of this guy, but Zigzag. I'm going to go Zigzag Zenner. Let's see, he's obviously going to be in a committee somewhere. He's not going to be the guy, but let's see him get a little bit more opportunity that he had in Detroit. That'd be nice. And see what he can do.
Well, didn't they let him go, Jerry, and then they brought him back?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they might bring him back again. The fans in Detroit love Zach Zenner.
Yeah, they do. It's true.
They always have. When we wanted to set Amir Abdullah on fire, we wanted to have Zach Zenner be the starter.
It's so violent in Detroit.
Well, it's Detroit.
It's Detroit.
That's right.
But, mate, isn't that like, mate, I was a massive Abdullah fan. I seriously got smoked on that.
Yeah.
Like, mate, that dude looked like everything coming out. Not like he's no Zeke coming out, but, mate, he could do everything. He ran hard, he was quick, he was shifty, he could catch the ball.
He had like one good play. One good
in a
carry.
preseason game against the Jets. Talk to Memphis. He knows all about ripping people off for Amir Abdullah.
Whoa. You're in Chicago.
Shots fired.
No, I mean, you should be happy. Jerry should be bitter because Chicago now has a better murder rate than Detroit.
Yeah, that's true. I was just going to leave it alone.
AKA Chirac.
Yeah.
What
the hell?
This?
Ouch.
You ever heard that, Kyle?
No, well, I have heard that before, but we're out here in the comfortable suburbs, so.
Mate, don't worry about building the wall between you guys and Mexico, man. You'd be building around Chicago.
Through it.
Keep it on. It'll be like, what was that? Escape from New York.
Escape from Chicago.
My God. So I'm up now, am I?
No.
Are you sure? Yeah.
Yes, you are.
I am.
just
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you very much. Okay, so what do I need? I need a wide receiver.
So you've got Tevin
correct?
Coleman, you've got Mike Davis, so your running backs are all sewn up, and you've got Jamison Crowder.
Okay, I'm going to go and grab a wide receiver, and I'm not a massive fan of this guy. I wasn't a fan of him coming out. I still reckon He looks slow. He's only 24 years of age, which is incredible. I couldn't believe he's only 24 years old, and that's Devin Funchess. Had a down year this year, but, mate, the whole of the Carolina Panthers, outside of Christian McCaffrey, looked ordinary this year. All his numbers were down, but he's a big target. He's only young. There's plenty of teams out there could do with someone like that, and I actually put him at the Texans.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Well, they can't get a tight end to save their lives.
No, that's
so
very
they
true.
need a bigger
They
target.
just did that in Devin Funchess.
Yeah, exactly right. They have the speed. They have the
Nuke.
No,
Kiki
Yep. Underneath right now, and they have Will Fuller when he plays, he's good. When he's not on
a stretcher.
When he's not on a stretcher, he got Nuke. Let's just get a little bit of a bigger target. And look, he'll get plenty of time to get downfield because Deshaun Watson will give him time in the pocket.
True.
He will extend plays. So I'll take Devin Funchess and stick him at the Texans.
Very nice. Seth, let's go back to you. So you got Teddy Bridgewater, you got CJ Anderson, and you got Jared Cook.
My team looks terrible.
You're in need of a couple of wide receivers and a running back.
Yep. So I'm going to go wide receiver here with Rashard Matthews.
I knew it.
Yeah, I know. Kyle, you've just guessed every single one so far, and you're going to continue to guess it. All fan favorites for me. Jared Cook, not so much, but whatever. But Rashard Matthews has been a guy that's underrated throughout his career with the Titans. He left the Titans and then got to the Jets, but was injured, so couldn't really do much. I think the Jets re-sign him because he's an excellent number 2 in the NFL, and he's actually put up very decent fantasy numbers when he was under a reasonable offense regime in Tennessee. So, Rashard Matthews.
Very nice. He's a guy
that's with a very reasonable quarterback.
Yes, he's been disappointing at times, I must say.
I can't blame him. Look at his quarterback.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's fair. It's a fair call.
Yeah.
Randers, you got Fitzmagic, Kareem Hunt, Spencer Ware. So now 2 wide receivers and a tight end you are in need of.
Jerry stole Jesse James from me, but I'm going to take a gamble on a guy who just can't stay healthy, but I think it's because the city of Cincinnati is under some kind of spell or voodoo. So I'm going to go Tyler Eifert. Still only 28 years old, which by tight end age range, he's like a youngster. If you're going on the Jason Witten sliding scale, who played till he was 40. So if he could ever stay healthy, we saw it a few years ago where he had 13 touchdowns with Andy Dalton. If he were to wind up on like a 1-year prove-it deal in New Orleans, that's obviously a team that doesn't have a ton of cap space, that could use some more offensive weapons outside of Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas. I think that would be a nice red zone target if he can stay healthy, but that's a gamble I'm willing to take when some of the other names on here are like Lance Kendrick. So I'll gamble on a guy I've seen do it, and hopefully he can stay healthy. So I'm going to go with Eifert.
Very nice.
And staying at the Bengals too, because I have him second on my list after Cook, Randers, and I had him just staying at the Bengals just because of the connection that he's got with Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
I hope he gets out of that cursed city of Cincinnati and goes somewhere like with Drew Brees who has a history of using the tight end. I just think that just makes a lot of sense. There's some other ones. He played Notre Dame, and the weather in South Bend, Indiana is not great. So maybe Buffalo for a 1-year deal with Josh Allen. I mean, there's a couple of spots you could project him, but I think based on his talent, his history, and his just NFL size, he could be a nice guy, especially this is a good tight end draft class coming up, and he could be a good mentor. Even if he can't stay healthy, he could do the Josh McCown. He could be like a tight ends coach because he's going to get hurt, and then that young guy will get 3 or 4 games to learn, and we'll just shove the young guy out there.
Man, tight ends just get beat up, don't they? I mean, he had one amazing season. That's really been kind of the story, hasn't it?
It has been for him, unfortunately.
Bit sad. So, Kyle, you get to go back to back. You've got Tyrod Taylor, you've got Lev Bell, and Jay Ajayi.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Eifert for sure there because this tight ends are really, really bad. But Memphis did this thing and sniped me there. So I'm just gonna go with 2 wide receivers here. The top 2 guys that are left on my board. The first one, I'm gonna go with Smokey John Brown. We finally saw a year where he stayed healthy, and then the offense transformed into just running the ball like crazy. So I hope he gets out of Baltimore. But I think he's a really good receiver, and as long as he can keep his health in check, can be valuable for NFL team and for fantasy owners. So I'll go with John Brown there. And then my second wide receiver, I don't know if I really want him to leave his current team because him and his quarterback have this man crush thing going on, and that's Adam Humphries. He really came on this year, and it was his 4th year in the league, but just really good numbers after Jameis took over. So we'll see where he lands. He's young. I don't think he's like any special talent, but if he stayed in Tampa, I don't really think Arians could stop Winston from throwing his way. He just loves this guy. So I'm going to go with John Brown and Adam Humphries to fill out my wide receiver spots.
I got Adam Humphries down here. What about somewhere like the Jets go? If you look at the Jets roster, outside of even Anderson's like a tallish guy, but he's a speed guy. You look at everybody else, and they're all 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". They don't have that sort of underneath sort of guy.
Mm-hmm. So I thought about the Jets earlier when we were talking about crap. Now I forgot who we were talking about, but Golden Tate, because we didn't see it. I really thought that Amendola would have even a bigger role, but this Adam Gase offense was the offense being run the majority of the time in Miami when Landry was just killing it from the slot. So we'll see. I think Anun was better for the slot than outside. So if they don't agree, then whether it's Humphries or one of these other slot guys that are still on the board. There's a few of them still, so I won't steal the names from you guys. But I think the Jets slot receiver, especially in PPR leagues, could be pretty nice. So that might be a nice landing spot for him.
Very nice. Okay, Randy, so you've got Fitzmagic, Kareem Hunt, Spencer Ware, and Tyler Eifert. So wide receiver.
I mean, this guy's a wide receiver one on any fantasy or NFL team in the league. So I'm going to go Cole Beasley. I like his wrap game, his slot game. He's already complaining about how the Dallas Cowboys front office predetermines where the targets go in the offense, so he's not going to be back in Dallas. But, I mean, he fits this prototypical modern-day NFL, that Julian Edelman, that Jarvis Landry, that Golden Tate type, and he's shown reliable, and I'm not going to take any cheap shots at Dak. That's not what we're here to do, but you give him, on a team that just needs a third or fourth option to help move the chains and play that role. So, in a PPR world, sorry, Kyle, he could be a real little asset. So I'm going to go with Cole Beasley.
Very nice. All right. Seth, you are up. You've got Teddy, CJ Anderson, Rashard Matthews, and Jared Cook so far.
Yeah, I'm going to round out the wide receivers here because it's getting pretty thin. Chris Conley.
Nice pick.
Yeah. I honestly thought Kyle was going to take Conley and I could take Humphries, but there we go. Conley's been an underrated guy on the Chiefs for a while, and there's a lot of talent there right now, so I have no reason to believe that they'll keep him around. So I think Conley can go somewhere else and get a little bit more play because he's a pretty decent wide receiver. Like, he's going to be Rashard Matthews in 3 years.
I reckon he's a very good wide receiver when he came out. Great set of hands, a good route runner. I actually had him down if Jamison Crowder not going to Green Bay, he'd be someone else that would fit very nicely into
underused. He is,
into like a Green Bay offense. So nice pick.
Very nice.
So I'm up.
You're up.
I'm up. So I'm going to take a tight end now. And I like this guy coming out. He's never had much of an opportunity because at the Bengals, and that's CJ Uzomah. Azuma. How do you pronounce it? That's right, isn't it?
What?
Azuma.
Did you say Azuma?
Azuma. 26. I think I get it right. I said it about 5 times.
You were making up words.
Mate, 6'4".
That it could be Australian for something, but as far as I know, that's not real words.
6'4", 246 pounds, mate. He's big, he's fast, he's athletic. Go and have a look at when he was the guy in Cincinnati when he had the opportunity this year. The guy can make some catches. I don't exactly know how durable he is yet because he's never been on the field long enough to find out. But I have him picked someone like the Browns. Because of he's big, he's fast, got a good set of hands, he's athletic. Big target, mate. Big target.
Yeah.
Who the Browns got at tight end?
Njoku.
Yeah.
Oh, they do too, don't they?
Too late.
No, but I did think of that actually. 2 tight end sets. Let's go. Mate, the Pats started this 2 tight end sets with Hernandez and Gronk. Mate, I was listening, I was listening to a podcast, I don't remember who it was, and they were talking about how formations like 3 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers, the teams that do the best, that play 2 tight end sets.
Yeah, but it's been a long while, let's face it, since Aaron Hernandez and Gronk were on
But it
the
still
field
works
together.
today. These are numbers from the past couple of years that 2 tight end sets confuse the living bejesus out of defenses.
You've got to have 2 pretty quality players, haven't you?
Okay.
Exceptional
That's probably a
players.
bad pick.
Yeah, who cares? Too late now. So,
No, I like the player. Just probably the landing spot I got wrong.
oh, okay. All right. Because I'm up. I've got Mark Ingram, Zach Zenner, Tyrell Williams, and Dante Moncrief. And I'm also going tight end. And I'm also going to Cincinnati. How unbelievable is that? I'm going to pick the
who the hell's left?
better tight end that was left in Cincinnati.
No. Okay.
Tyler Croft. Give me Tyler Croft, who in stints has done a pretty damn good Tyler Eifert impersonation, I reckon. I would take him. And wasn't he higher on the depth chart than Zumama?
He was. Zumama's number 3.
So there you go. That says it all.
So maybe
All
someone
right,
take
back
Luke
to
Wilson.
back.
Jerry, you get to round out your team now because you get back-to-back. You've got TJ Yeldon, Golden Tate, Philip Dorsett, and Jesse James. And you
And
get to
the
make
cream of the crop of the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So I get my pick of the litter.
Quarterback.
We're gonna go running back to start it off, and it's only me and Seth that need one. So I'm gonna go with the old guy on this list because I think he's the only guy that might actually have a role going into next year. Frank Gore, give me Mr.
Oh,
Golden
son of a-
Jacket. Good.
That's the best.
That makes me feel a little better, a little soulless.
Are you serious?
That's the best.
Listen,
I'm thinking
he'll
there is
need that.
no way
He'll need the
in
walker.
hell that anyone goes with my boy Frank Gore. Damn you, Jerry.
You just stole the wet dream potential of CJ Anderson and Frank Gore, bro.
All right, now
Well, time for me to go to work.
what quarterback am I stealing now is the question. Oh, God, it's all bad. I'm just going to go Brett Hundley because he's the young guy. We've only seen a little bit. We've seen a lot out of everybody else, and it's been a whole bunch of nothing good. And not that Hundley was any good, but he's young. Maybe that was just, I would say it's a bad situation, but Aaron Rodgers does okay in it. So we'll go Brett Hundley. It'll hurt our soul, and we're not going to win any games with him in this team. This
Oh, man.
TJ Yeldon, Golden Tate, Jesse James, Philip Dorsett, Frank Gore, and Brett Hundley leading the way to glory.
Yeah, you're going to take my guy, are you? Because you need a quarterback now,
I
AJ,
do.
and you're up.
It's-
And I'm
I was going to take Hundley, to be honest, and it's fair to say that there's not much here.
You actually liked Hundley coming out.
Yeah, I liked him coming out, but it's fair to say he hasn't impressed. But he's got age on his side compared to the rest of the guys on this list. He's the youngest, and quarterback. We've seen quarterbacks kind of turn it around. I mean, look at Josh McCown, who I'm tempted to take, but honestly, he's 39. Where is
He's
he?
right behind Brady.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I might go with. Oh man, such a hard choice. I might go.
Sanchez.
Give me Geno Smith. I'm going to go.
It's just as bad.
Oh, look at the names on the list.
I don't know what's worse.
I know,
Oh
but
my god.
The guy that butt fumbles or the guy that the stuff it comes out of it.
look,
It's
it breaks my
fucking
heart
bad.
to say, give me Geno
Geno
Smith
Smith, oh my
as my
God.
pick.
Oh.
No, that's
Holy-
horrible.
That's terrible.
It's all sorts of horrible.
I can't
but-
believe you left that one guy left for me,
Who's that?
mate. Mate, the only guy left worth RG3.
Get out of town.
Why not?
What?
Mate, he showed a little bit in pre-season when he was given the opportunity.
What about Brock?
Mate, I was
He
thinking
wasn't
about
that
Brock.
bad this year.
Can one guy make so much money out of doing nothing? Sam Bradford.
Yeah, I was about to say Sam Bradford's
sorry.
the king.
Who's the guy on the Bears, Seth, the backup that played a game? What's his name?
Chase McDaniel.
Yeah, that's the guy right there. I want to be him when I grow up.
His dollars to passes thrown in the NFL is the highest out of any quarterback in history. It has to be.
But who was that
No,
guy
who-
who was the backup
No, who
to
was-
Rodgers?
Yes.
And he went to the Seahawks, and then that was the
He got beat
year
out by
they
Russell
Matt
Wilson.
Flynn.
Matt Flynn.
There's some easy money.
The Lions for 5 touchdowns and then got paid.
That's unbelievable. That is
I can't
unbelievable.
believe you're just hating on Josh McCown like that. I'm ashamed of all of you.
Seth's just going to take him anyway, even though he has a quarterback already.
Yeah, we're changing this to a super flex league.
All right, Seth, you're up, mate.
Seth, you're
finish that
I'm still
running
on
back
such
spot.
a tilt from Jerry. Damn you, Jerry. Well, I don't even know, man. All right, so
Come on, he's 34,
I'm going
man.
to
34.
go with the last Hall of Famer on this list, then with Adrian Peterson. I think there is a possibility that Darius Geis is not ready at the beginning of the year. Very slim possibility, but a possibility nonetheless. And if you have a good game script for Adrian Peterson, he showed last season that he still has it. And if he lands on a team like that where you can just try to run the ball a little bit, hell, if he gets to Seattle somehow, something like that, I'm all about that.
Like he did very well for me in so many weeks this year in fantasy. For a guy that I picked up off the free agency board.
Yeah.
And slotted him in, like as my a flex or even like a number 2 running back.
Yeah,
he was great.
Yeah,
That's
he's
a nice pick.
out of the box. My word.
Mate, 34 years old. It's quite incredible, really.
Well,
isn't
Frank
it?
Gore's 35.
Yep.
Look how many. I mean,
Yeah,
Frank
but-
Gore is.
Frank Gore could be 53. He's still going to be in the league and going to be just getting close to 1,000 yards every season because that's what he does.
Death, taxes, and Frank Gore.
He's a
Amen.
machine.
He is, but if you compare them, the running styles,
Yeah.
at 34, Adrian Peterson looks as though he's got far more zip.
True. He looks years younger than he actually is.
He
AP,
does.
doesn't he?
He
He really
does.
does.
I mean, he's not human. Like, he was the
No.
first one to come back from the ACL in, like, the fastest time ever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember he put that
he was
YouTube.
back,
like week 15 or something, and he was back by the start of the next year.
I remember he put out that YouTube video. Remember of him
Yes.
training.
Yeah, I
and just
remember.
go, mate, you just forget about the fact that he was coming back from his ACL.
Hmm.
Just the way the dude trained, like even for someone with 2 good ACLs,
Yes.
was quite incredible.
My
It's
word.
crazy that some of these guys are the same species as me, because I get winded like walking to the door. Like a flight of stairs, and I got to make base camp, and I'll make the summit tomorrow.
It's not your fault, mate. It's your parents.
Well, that's a good excuse at least.
I blame the parents for
Yeah.
everything.
Randy, you've got one more pick to make. So you currently have Kareem Hunt, Spencer Ware, Cole Beasley, and Tyler Eifert. So you're after a wide receiver here.
Yeah, I'm going to take another reach, and I'm going to go with Bruce Ellington. Had a little run there the last 4 games with Detroit. I actually think he winds up back in Detroit. In 4 games, he averaged about 8 targets and converted 6 of those, and that was only for about 35 yards a game on average. But in a PPR world, sorry, Kyle, Ellington could do a little something for this team. So kind of the best of what's left, the tallest midget, if you will. So I'll take Mr. Ellington.
Very nice.
I like it. Lions fans like him too. He did a good job coming in for Tate, and that was in an offense that was just abysmal.
No Inman for you?
Nah.
I really think that Deion Kane's going to pop for the Colts. He was killing people in training camp as a rookie and blew out his ACL, but he did it real early, so he should be 100% ready for the season. And a little dynasty nugget for everyone: if the Colts don't go major free agent in the wide receiver area, and if they don't take a day 1 or day 2 wide receiver, that tells you how much they like Deion Kane. And if they just go with like a day 3 guy in rounds 4 through 7, that means they're bringing in someone to compete, and that tells you how much they like Deion Kane. So I'm hoping, as a big Deion Kane fan, that is the case, but I would also not hate it if they were to bring in like Kelvin Harmon out of the rookie class. But yeah, I'm a big Deion Kane believer.
So where are the Colts picking in the first round, Randers?
26, and then they have the
So you
third
sort of
pick
get in the realm of maybe the first wide receiver coming off the board, aren't you?
That does not strike me as how Chris Ballard's going to build. I think they're going to go defensive tackle.
Yep.
And then I think it's a real possibility that if a Harmon or one of these really, like a Hakeem Butler, one of these really big guys, like the 6'6", 6'3" type wide receiver to complement Ty, if that type of player was on the board, that would not shock me.
This class is big, though. They are big.
It's massive.
Yep.
If you have not seen the workout videos of Kelvin Harmon, check them out. And if you want to hear rookie wide receivers, shameless plug, we've done 2 episodes so far this offseason on the rookie wide receiver class. on the Dynasty Warzone.
Very
with Jerry
nice.
Sinclair.
Mate, more than happy
The
to shameless plug as much as you want, mate.
Man power.
Okay, Kyle, you get to finish us off here, and you are after a tight end. Good luck.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Go with Gray.
This is just a heaping pile. I'm just going to go with a guy that is a massive human being, has never got a shot. He's been in the league for 5 years, but he's been stuck behind an all-pro tight end. I'm going to go with Demetrius Harris. He's freaking 6'7". I mean, somebody somewhere could use this guy, right? So what will probably happen is he'll get signed by a team in free agency. Dynasty owners will overpay for this guy, and he'll just flame out Josh Hill style, and it won't matter. But that's that, man. I think that, I don't know if there's any other name to consider here. So analysis.
Mate, the guy can truck, can't he, for someone his size? Like
Yeah.
some of how he got downfield to Mahomes was quite incredible. For a guy his size.
I know you've never heard this before, but I'm pretty sure he used to play basketball.
Whoa! What
Why?
trendsetter?
Hot
what a
take.
trendsetter! Imagine if that turns into a thing in the league.
Wow.
I see what you guys did.
Yeah.
But there was one pass that he caught from Mahomes where I'm talking about his size because he's a big guy and he almost like tiptoed down the sideline, which is not something you see out of a tight end. Basically, it's more of a thunder down, maybe a couple of feet in if we can keep it without stepping out of bounds. No, that's a good pick.
Yeah, no, I don't mind that. Okay, we are all done. So you want me to give a quick recap of the teams?
Who's got the
man.
Oof.
It's very hard.
They're terrible. They are
because-
seriously, like
Honestly, like Swiss cheese. There are
Like
holes
we did
all over
the draft rookie redo on when I was on the Fellas the other week, and I wanted to redo my redo again. I was just so disappointed. I'm looking at this team, and I'm disappointed again.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. I probably
Nah, it's,
okay.
There are strengths
Read 'em out.
and weaknesses, or weaknesses and weaknesses of every team. So Kyle has got Tyrod Taylor, Lev Bell, Jay Ajayi, John Brown, Adam Humphries, and Demetrius Harris. Randers, you've got Fitzmagic, Kareem Hunt, Spencer Ware, Cole Beasley, Bruce Ellington, and Tyler Eifert, tight end. Seth has got Teddy Bridgewater, the only actual quarterback. CJ Anderson, AP, Rashard Matthews, Chris Conley, and Jared Cook. I think I might actually like that the best. G has got RG3, Tevin Coleman, Mike Davis, Jamison Crowder, Devin Funchess, and CJ Uzamama, apparently. And I've got a quarterback, Mark Ingram, Zach Zenner, Tyrell Williams, Dante Moncrief, and Tyler Croft. I won't say his name, Geno Smith. And Jerry's got Brett Hundley, TJ Yeldon, Frank Gore, Golden Tate, Philip Dorsett, and Jesse James. What a disaster!
I'm going to write all these teams down. It's pretty hard because none of us really have quarterbacks that are really.
Take a photo of it.
Are going to be starters.
I've got it on our screen now. Take a photo.
I'm going to keep a track.
Yeah.
Of what these guys do next season.
Yeah.
I like it.
This is why Blake Bortles will definitely have a job, like no doubt, because look at this. I mean, this is a disastrous list of quarterbacks.
Yeah, it makes you it makes you pretty confident that Teddy's going to get a gig somewhere, doesn't it?
Oh, he has to.
Yeah.
Where?
He picked a good year though to get his last shot, at redemption, because teams are not going to pay up for a quarterback in this draft, and I think Bridgewater will get at least 3 to 4 games at minimum, shot at being a starter.
So where does he go?
Washington.
Did he go to the Jags? Oh, Washington.
Ooh,
I don't know about the Jags, so I think they might look at Nick Foles or even Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
The teams that I had labeled for quarterback landing spots: Washington, like Seth mentioned, Jacksonville, potentially Denver, Miami, and there's still the question marks in Carolina if they need somebody to fill that gap. I mean, Foles isn't on this list yet because he's technically not a free agent yet, but I mean, there's some landing spots out there.
Okay, well that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Pretty gross looking free agency market out there on the offensive side of the ball.
But an interesting exercise to actually see what the depth is like at some of these positions. And I must say that, running back is not bad, and wide receiver is obviously a bit better.
Well, running back would be would be the best. If you look at who we've picked, like Lev Bell, Kareem Hunt, CJ Anderson, Tevin Coleman, Mark Ingram, and TJ Yeldon, they're all very
at
handy
times.
back. Yeah,
at times all starters.
Yep.
You still got Latavius Murray and Doug Martin on this list, which I get it, but they weren't even drafted. So I mean, there are retread guys that'll get a shot.
Yep, and some wide receivers there that I reckon are not bad.
No one said Dez.
great,
No one picked
but-
up Dez.
Yeah, I know. Hurts.
Oh, that was sad. I got a tear.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, let's wrap it up. These guys, I don't know.
Have a day to start.
They have a day to start, and
We've
we've
got to
got
start shoveling some snow up, probably.
we've got a day to finish.
We have it. We do. I got a pillow calling my name.
Yeah, ironically. But it's been a pleasure having you guys on. So we've had Seth and Kyle from the FF Fellas. Thanks, guys. And we've also had Randy and Jerry from the Dynasty Warzone pod. Thank you to everybody. Thanks, gents.
Thanks for having
Always a
us.
pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure is ours.
Fantastic. And make
There
sure
is
you
not-
check them out.
There
If
is
you're
not two guys I would want to wake up in the morning to talk to more than AJ and G.
Oh, that's lovely.
He's working on his next appearance on this show.
That's right.
Go.
Would you say the same if you woke up in the morning and we're just there? In bed. We just roll over and we're there.
I'm a very good spooner.
If you're 5,000 miles away and you are in my room, yes, I will panic.
Mate, I will get there and I will spoon all of you. All four of you. I promise you that.
Jerry, tell him what you always say. Don't threaten you with a good time.
All right. We'll let you go, guys, but thank you so much for joining us. It's been a blast. And they've gone. It's amazing.
once.
They went already. Gee.
Thanks, guys, for coming on. That was
I'm gonna
awesome.
Go wake the sleepyhead kid.
Yeah.
Thank you for having on.
Nah, thanks for coming on. Thanks, everybody, for getting up early and helping us out.
Yeah, no
This
problem.
would have
This
been
is fun, man.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
would have been a
anytime.
bit different.
It's always worth it.
Ah, thanks.
All right, I got to go catch a train.
You go, guys.
See you
Thank
later.
you. Thank
Good
you.
luck with that. It's hard to do.
fun.
They're huge.
Need a big net, I tell you.
Bang like that. Why can't you be like
it's
that,
on your
Adrian?
side.
Just whip them off the top of your head.
Sharp
like that.
as a
That
tack.
already left here.
Later.
He's probably doing it with the finger as well as he's leaving. All right, guys. Thanks
Thanks,
very
guys.
much. We're going to get to bed. And, yeah, thanks again for coming on. We'll speak to you soon.
Yeah,
Yeah, later, guys.
All right.
See you guys. Well, that was good fun. That was a great
different, mate.
idea.
Look,
That was a good idea, G.
The idea is good. The players aren't as good as the idea was.
Well, no, but
But look, as we spoke about, the running backs aren't that bad. Look, there's some wide receivers in there that you'd be probably at the top of my list. I had obviously Golden Tate, just because we know what Golden Tate is and he's done it for so long. But the 30-year-old age group sort of getting up there, and Tyrell Williams was the second guy that I had on this list.
Yep.
But yeah, running backs: Lev Bell, Kareem Hunt, CJ, they're all Tevin Coleman. Yeah, they're all good running backs. They all give you fantasy value, especially Lev and Kareem Hunt.
oh, phew, for sure.
Obviously,
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, great idea. It was great having the guys on.
it would have been
Good
nice
fun.
to have a few decent quarterbacks to round out
Yeah.
these teams, because unfortunately, I
It
think
would have
if
been
we
nice.
keep a track of the numbers, we're going to get absolutely probably nothing from it. Probably Teddy would be the only one that we're actually might see on a
Fitzmagic,
football.
maybe.
Possibly. Maybe somewhere like in Washington, just as a feeling. But I think what we're going to see is like someone like Fitzmagic. We've seen how bright he can shine, and then it's snuffed out. It's gone. It's finished. And it's not like, he probably needs another quarterback. You drop him for 4 or 5 weeks, and then you bring him back again. And he shines again. He shines. He's like the sparklers.
You have to
they
charge
shine
him up.
bright and for a very short period of time.
That's funny.
But he actually needs someone to throw to. And that's someone else that was on this list is Josh Johnson.
Yeah, I considered Josh Johnson.
Yeah, I
must
put him
say.
on there. And look,
Yeah.
his first 2 weeks were very serviceable for fantasy. I think he was like maybe a 22 fantasy points and maybe an 18, close to 19 in the second week. And then it all just fell apart after. I think it was an 8 and maybe I think it was maybe a 1. I think he threw for maybe 90 yards and that's it. But if you look at the last game that he played, he had absolutely no one to throw the ball to.
Right.
It's a bit like we saw Matt Stafford basically at the end of the season was throwing to guys that will turn up on the new summer league that they'll have going this year.
Guys we've never heard of.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Probably better guys in the Canadian Football League.
That's right. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Not the matchup we're most excited about, as we said, but hey, it's a Super Bowl, so enjoy it. And, you know, the other thing about the Super Bowl is it does kind of mark the conclusion of the season, and that I kind of like that too, because it means we can get stuck into rookies in earnest.
I've started doing that.
Yeah.
Some sleepless nights already. Not sleepless, but less sleep, I should say.
Less sleep.
Yeah. And look, and just a fact about it, you know, the Super Bowl is the second most food consumed day, that's putting it correctly, in America.
Really?
Thanksgiving being number 1.
Wow.
The Super Bowl being number 2.
What's the quality of food like?
It's probably great if you like crap.
Yeah.
If you don't mind hardening your arteries and, you know, putting a few extra pounds on.
Because it's going to be a
Depends how
certain
much you
type
eat.
of food, because it's probably going to be
Wings.
fairly closely consumed with alcohol, I would say.
A lot of nachos.
What a crazy conversation. Anyway, yeah, a lot of nachos, yes. A lot of beer, obviously. Anyway, enjoy your Super Bowl, and we will be rocking right along with probably rookie stuff, I suppose, next up. Do you think?
We have to start getting into that.
But we also have to look at our end-of-year wrap. Let's go
wrap.
back through our predictions.
Yeah, we have to have the predictions pod revisited.
We had Sheps on for that, so we'll have to get Sheps on for our revisit. Sound good?
Yes.
All right. Anyway.
If you've got a spare $1,000, it might be a good idea to buy one of those portable, you know, the Heart Star.
Defib?
Yeah, defib.
What for?
Talking about the food and... very handy.
That's true. Okay. Thanks for listening, everybody. As always, we appreciate you tuning in and listening. Take care. And on behalf of G and myself, we'll catch you next time.